Hey guys, my name is Dr. Scam Debunk and welcome to Scam Alert. In this video and many others to come, I'm going to teach you how you can spot scams from a mile away. The reason why I want to do this is because too many people very close to me have become victims of scams. And to just give you a brief background about what I do, um, I am a creative writer, but far more importantly, I've worked for a lot of companies before, mostly American companies. And my job pretty much involves scams, not me creating scams, but simply preventing scams against these companies that I was representing, and mostly also against friends, especially people who came to me and asked for my opinion before they did anything. Now, I just want to teach you guys about different types of scams. There are thousands of scams out there, like thousands. However, there's a very limited number of scam structures. By scam structure, I'm only referring to how the scam was created or how the scam is structured. Now, once you understand the structure of a scam, you will be able to identify a scam from a mile away, and that is my point. Now, for you to be able to identify a scam from a mile away, I have to teach you these scams structure. And the reason why I have to teach you these structures is because without the structure itself, you won't be able to identify a scam, and that is why most people will actually fall for scams. In simple terms, I'll be breaking down how these scams are created. I'll probably put you in the mind of the person or the people that created the scam. So in essence, at the end of the day, you might think I'm trying to teach you scamming people or how to create scams, but that's not my point. And I just want to also apologize for something. English is my second language, so please forgive me for any error or mistake I'm going to make. I'm only using it so you can understand me because not everybody can speak my language at the end of the day. But far more importantly, again, I'm just trying to save a lot of people's money from losing it because I can promise you this, a lot of people that are targeted for these scams are people who are looking for jobs, people who are desperate for opportunities, for more or less anything to just change their lives. And as far as I'm concerned, those are people I think shouldn't lose anything because they actually need something in their lives. The example I have today, I call this scam specifically, or this structure of scam, employment opportunity scams. Now, the employment opportunity scams comes in various forms. The format or the format I have today or the structure I have today is from a company that was claiming or the company that is claiming because it's still going, it's still an ongoing thing. The company that is claiming to be representing Cecil. So you need to be aware of this. You need to watch out wherever you are in South Africa, in Africa, worldwide. In fact, everywhere you are, you need to be aware of this specific structure of scams because once you understand how this scam was created, you will be able to identify a similar one or the one or another one that was created with the same or similar structure. Now, to begin with, a friend of mine called me about a few days ago and she said, hey, can you please look into this for me? I just got an email from a company that is offering me a job, and this is the email. I just want you to check for me if it's legit or if it's a scam because I suspected it's a scam because it sounds too good to be true. Before I ended the call with her, I just told her if it sounds too good to be true, then it definitely is too good to be true. So the first thing that I did, I said, send me the email that they sent you. Send me everything they sent you. In fact, any document they sent you, any reference that you can have, send it to me and I'll look into it. Within 3 minutes after going through the whole email, immediately knew it's a scam. So I replied very quickly before opening other documents. I knew immediately that it's a scam. So I told her, don't fall for it. It's a scam. And the reason why I was able to see it very quickly because the email itself gave it away very quickly. Now, I'm going to explain to you how I was able to see that. Let's begin. Now, the first thing that you need to look at in this email example here, my friend was offered a job. Now, sometimes you might be offered a job that you didn't even apply for, or you might be offered a job that you applied for. She didn't even apply for this specific job. She was targeted. Now, you need to understand that every scam victim is always targeted. You are not just an accident. You're not just somebody who was just on the way. You are targeted because you're part of, I would say, a group of people that was collected from a bunch of information. Now, when you apply for a job, you need to understand something. When you send your CV or your resume to any company and look for a job, even if they don't like you, they'll still keep your contact details. Still keep your qualifications and your documents just in general. You understand? And once they decide to either give your information to another company, they may make money out of that. Sometimes they don't make money out of that, but at the end of the day, they may forward your information to other companies out there. And some of these companies may act legit in front of the company you gave your documents to. Some of them are fake. So this is how your information gets in the wrong hands. You might apply for a job, or you might just fall for a silly link on Facebook, which I'm actually going to explain in the future as well about these scams that you can find on Facebook. There are hundreds of them out there where you end up clicking a link, like for an example, a link says review who has been viewing your profile, or click here to review who's stalking you. Things like that, interesting things like that. You click a link and you end up giving away your information, your emails, and all those things, and you end up being targeted because a person like that who ends up clicking more or less anything and believes anything without proper thinking, you're considered as a person who would fall for the trick at the end of the day, because these guys are always aiming for your emotions. They're always aiming for just your quick reaction towards something, your quick decision towards something, and once you make that decision very quickly, you then fall into a trap. Now, I just want to make this video very quickly, so I'm going to go into this video or this specific scam so I can explain how I was able to see that it's a scam. Now, the first thing you need to understand that when a person targets you with a scam, they're always targeting people who have some level of desperation. Whether you're looking for a job, in this case specifically, the one that I'm doing today is the one regarding employment, the employment opportunity scam, I like to call it, or the structure. In fact, it's aimed at people who are looking for a job, and those people have different types of, desperation. There's one person who cannot pay rent at the moment, who doesn't have money to even buy food, who have like responsibilities related to family, related to himself, like clothing and all other things, and that person is more desperate. And then you do find a person who is just looking for a job to just probably buy a car or to buy a smartphone or whatever. They're fine. They live perhaps with parents, or they have a partner, and life is just okay with them. Those are people who don't usually fall for scams very easily because they're not as desperate. Now, you also need to understand something very quickly. People who create scams are as desperate as you. Now, they will always make a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes is where you can catch them. Very simple. Now, in this example that I have today, or the employment opportunity scam, the person or the people that created this scam, and especially this email, they are very desperate, and that's how I was able to see it very quickly. How do I see that? Very quickly. Now, the first thing you need to understand is the way it's written. I apologize for dragging this whole video for like 7 minutes before I explain this scam, but this is my first video. I aim to make the rest a bit shorter and a bit straightforward so you can understand very quickly how you can spot these scams. Now, the first thing you will look into this email very quickly is the way it's written, the tone in which it's written. Let's look at this. Like, for an example, let's skip this part, the email. I'm going to explain to you why I say the email gave it away very quickly, but let's skip that. And let's also skip other information such as the administration clerk being the position and the date. Now, you look at the way it's written, like the first statement here, skip that as well. And if you look at the statement here, as stated on our website, our candidates are required to have a police clearance before applying for any vacancies at Cecil Limited. Now, there's a company that's claiming to be representing Cecil in a form of recruiting people. It could be a legit recruitment agency, but they're playing some fishy game here, and I was able to pick it up very quickly. If you already picked up what I also saw in this sentence, the first phrase or the first part of the sentence before the comma, it looks normal, but after that, every word that comes after that starts with a capital letter or an uppercase. If you see all, it has a capital letter A, C, A, R, T, H, and so on. You understand? That gives it away very quickly that whoever was writing this is pretty much dumb. They pretty much don't even know how to write an email or how to even write a letter. Fine, let's proceed and skip that part. Police clearance is a document to indicate blah blah. So they explain to you what kind of a document they want. Police clearance can be obtained at a police station, blah blah blah, or online through companies such as PCI Inc. Now, PCI Inc. is a skeleton that this specific company that is offering her a job also have. You need to understand this. They're offering her a job and they're requesting a certain document. This is the structure I'm going to break down very quickly for you. You find a person or a company that's going to, or a group of people that are going to offer you an opportunity in a form of employment, and they will tell you they need certain qualifications or they need certain documentations or they need something before they give you that job. Whatever it is they need from you, they will always tell you where to go fetch it, or where you can go and get it. They won't offer it to you directly because it'll look fishy immediately once they ask you, hey, before you can get this job, we need you to have a police clearance and we can get it for you. Once you see that, you will wonder, how are they even giving me a job? Whereas at the end of the day, they are the ones who are also offering me this police clearance. How does that make sense? You will run away from that very quickly. Now, they need to create a skeleton company outside of their company, which is also part of what they're doing, to make you feel convinced enough to go to that specific company to obtain or to get a police clearance. It could be a police clearance, it could be a sort of a qualification. Like, for an example, cashiers are usually targeted for some sort of a cashier certificate that will be required. I mean, a cashier requires some sort of background knowledge about calculations, about how to run some of these systems. Like, for an example, ShopRite uses the same system all through. Like, everywhere you go in the country, they have similar computers. All those computers run a similar operation system, so it makes it easy for anybody to be trained in that specific software. So then you would then find probably an institute or somebody who's offering education or some sort of a qualification document that will say, you know what, you've worked or studied with us and you did this course, and this course allows you to work at ShopRite to handle these specific computers, to handle this kind of an environment at when you work as a cashier at any store. Now, they will offer you like they will request you to have a form of document before you can get a job. It could be a police clearance, it could be a certificate, it could be a letter from somewhere, it could be just anything that they want from you before they can give you the job. Remember, the job doesn't even exist at the end of the day. You won't even get that job. It's a scam, but they are making you go out there, lose some money before you come to them. When you get to them, they won't even reply or contact you back. They won't even say anything. They will just continue to lead you more into a scam. If they see you fail for the first scam, they might even come with another scam after that. Now, in this case, they offered her a job and then they told her this is where you can get a police clearance. They told her that she can email her full names and other information to this email address here, and they told her also she can go to this website to enter her information to request a police clearance. Now, if you understand or if you know an online or a cloud-based platform where you can create a website called Wix, I think it's an Israeli company. I'm not sure. I'll check that out. I actually have a tab, a Google tab open here of these companies, so we'll go through that very quickly. But if you know Wix, then you will probably laugh at this whole thing because this also sells it or gives it away as a scam. Like again, I said the tone in which this is written. So if you read this whole sentence here, I'm not gonna go through that because I'm trying to make this video a bit short. So if you go through this sentence here, you will understand that this person sounds very desperate, and this even gives it away even worse. No police clearance, no work, non-negotiable. So this person is really desperate. Now, if I was the one who was doing this and the job was legit, I would have found a way to make this a bit polite. No police clearance, no work, non-negotiable. There's a certain way you can say this very same thing in a different way. I'm a creative writer. I know this for a fact that certain things can be said in a different way and they would have a much more impact. There's not even a space after comma here to just make you understand that the person didn't even have time to press the space bar on a keyboard after comma. Everybody knows that you put comma after, I mean space after a comma in anything that you, whether it's even on WhatsApp, your app when you chat, WhatsApp is always set to create that space for you automatically if your settings are left like that, unless of course you change your settings and you turn that off. But nonetheless, my point is, sorry about that, my point is at this point you will understand that this person sounds very desperate. Now, if you look at this, they say start date is the 5th of November and documents must be sent back within 6 hours. They are sort of putting pressure on her so she can make a quick decision. She can go to this website and they will give her a police clearance in 30 minutes, they say. So basically, she understands, or everybody, or most of the people will understand that if you go to a police station to request a police clearance, they will take time at a police station. But these guys apparently they're offering it for 30 minutes or within 30 minutes. Or while their website says something different, but here they say 30 minutes. Now, this is all a lie. This is just a scam. You can go through this email, pause, play to read the whole thing. But first thing that gave it away is the email. Now, there's a Cecil website, cecil.com. That is the normal Cecil website. And then there's this website. If you want to find out more information about a website that you are visiting or any email, just forget about the first or the username of the email. Just focus more on the domain name of the whole email. If you look at the domain name and you feel like it's a bit suspicious, or if you feel like it could be true or it could be a legit one because there's a name Cecil there, you will understand that sometimes everybody can buy a domain name. I apologize for this. My computer's a bit slow. I don't have a very good, powerful computer, and the reason why I don't have that is because um, well, yeah, it's very slow. Anyways, so yeah, let's continue. Let's have a look at this. Let's see here. So the email, all right, so the email gives it away. I'll show you very quickly why I say the email gives it away as well, and this one as well, and we have weeks as well, and the tone here, and the rush, well, and the errors, the typo, like a space before comma, and then here there's no space after comma. You don't even have to know all this, these grammar like errors, or to pay attention to these grammar errors to actually find out this is a scam. Now, an advice I will give you very quickly because I'm ending this video after I'm gonna run it for 20 minutes, so in the next 4 minutes, whatever seconds, I'm going to end it. The advice I'm going to give you is this: if you find something or get an opportunity in this way and you feel like it's suspicious or it could be a scam, find that one friend or family member that you have that likes technology, that one person who's always online watching videos on YouTube, just doing some shit on YouTube or doing some shit online. Just speak to that person and say, hey, can you find out if this is true for me, or if it's fake, or if it's legit, or if it's a scam? Can you just check it out for me? People like that will always do some kind of a research much better than you can. I'm saying much better than you can to those that are not sure or cannot see the mistakes I was able to pick up very quickly, like I just explained. Now, moving forward, this is the email they sent here. Let's forget about the email for a moment. Let's just forget about the email for a moment. Let's have a look at who is. So who is where you can enter very quickly a domain name that, let's say for an example, you want to search and you want to find out if the domain name is legit or not, or in fact just who owns it. You understand? Some people can hide their identities. It's fine. You won't find out the name of the person that registered the domain name, but you can find out where it was registered and when. Now, if you look here, it says that this website or this domain name was registered through GoDaddy. If you know GoDaddy, GoDaddy is a platform where you can purchase domain names. I'm going to come back to this one very quickly. Let's forget about that for a second. Come back here. If you get here, you will understand that this was registered on the 9th of, I mean, sorry, on the 25th of September 2018. Not too long ago from now. I'm making this video on the 12th of November. So this was like 2 months ago. Now, the most important thing that you need to understand is this was registered this year. The Sasol website, if you go to this website, I'm not going to do that right now because my PC is a bit slow and it could take time. So if you go to this website, whois.com, there's the link. If you go to this website, I'm going to leave also information on the comment section so you can go through it by yourself. But if you go to this website and type in cecil.com, you will find that Cecil was registered, I think, in 1996, if not 1994. I may be wrong, but I know for sure it was in 1990 something. So you could then understand, why would Cecil have a website registered in 1996 and then all of a sudden they register another one just for a recruitment agency? A recruitment agency shouldn't have a name like this. It should be, for an example, a different, like this recruitment agency I once actually had or got a job from or got a job through called Quest. It's a nationwide agency. Yeah, that's a legit agency, and it's, forget about Quest. I'm not going to talk about that actually right now. Let's just talk about the fact that this is not a legit agency. They're just trying to make you think that they are by using names of companies that you are familiar with, such as Cecil. I went to GoDaddy and I just quickly typed woolworthsjobs.co.za. Now, if I just quickly went on to GoDaddy and purchased this domain name for 89 Rand and then just said created an email with submission at woolworthsjobs.co.za, I would simply much convince people that this is a legit agency or a legit way of getting a job at Woolworths, and people would pretty much fall for an email coming from that specific email address, which would then be probably submissions or careers at woolworthsjobs.co.za. Now that sells it away. Obviously, every company cannot just buy any domain name that has their name attached to it because that will take a lot of money from them. But the most important thing that you need to understand is once people try to sell you things using names of companies that you are already aware of or you know about, that could easily make you fall for the scam, or it could easily trick you into falling for. I mean, look at the amount of domain names that you can buy: Woolworths Works or WoolworthsJobs.info, whatever. And once you get an email with a username using this specific domain name sent to you, you will definitely fall for it. All right, I feel like I might actually push this video for like another 5 minutes. This is the website that they gave her and said, if you go to this website, you can register and request a police clearance. Let's just wait for that to load. Code. Now, if you look at this, it says 15 minutes. On the email, it said 30 minutes. Fine. So basically, this is where you put your information, or this is where they expect her to put information. And she actually did before she contacted me, but she didn't pay for it. Now, they sent her an email and say, hey, we have a job for you, but before we give you this job, we need a police clearance. And this is the link, or this is where you can get a police clearance from. And she clicked the links and entered the information because they told her you need to actually send us the documents, and you need to sign the contract and everything else like that within 6 hours. If we actually go through to, okay, so I have all these documents open like that, police clearance scam. This is the first scam I actually want to debunk, and I'm going to actually debunk more of similar scams. Now, if we go to the next one, let's see. So these are the documents that they sent her. And they say police clearance must be less than 3 months old. Well, they didn't even put that old part there, but nonetheless, no proof of payment from the police station will be accepted as a police clearance. So they don't even want you to go to the police clearance. They want you to do it yourself. I'll show you why I say that as well. They want you to do it online on their website. Now, this part. This is what she received after she sent the police clearance information through that website. They sent her a police clearance without a stamp. Police clearance has no stamp. It will be stamped once payment is received, blah, 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 blah. Again, police clearance is invalid without a stamp. So they just putting her into that specific box of what she should believe, what she should do, they putting pressure on her. And luckily, she contacted me, and I was able to then decide, you know what, let me start making videos and debunk these scams because I've handled and worked with hundreds of scams in my career. Now, at this point, she hasn't decided she didn't decide to pay because I already convinced her that it's a scam. They have multiple ways of payments. You can either deposit the money at a ShopRite, Money Market, Checkers, YouSave, Pick and Pay, Boxer, and more. Now, they then give her information such as you must tell or advise a teller you want mobile deposit, and they give her the code, and this is the amount that she must deposit. Code expires after 10 hours. You see all that? That is pressure that they're building on top of her, forcing her to make a decision very quickly. They also have EFT, Bitverse, Police Clearance Inc. And if you go to the next page, remember I had to hide the information because it's sensitive, and my information as well, and account number and all that. Now, if we get to this point here, um, they're sending a contract. They sent her the contract and other documents that she needs to send in 6 hours. And another thing, if you go back to the original email that they sent her, they said start date and place of work will be provided within 24 hours after receiving signed contract, copy of ID, and police clearance. This is their main part where they strike you here. They want you to sign the contract that they sending you. They want you to send your copy of your ID and police clearance, and only after that they can tell you where you're gonna work and when you're gonna start. But they're also saying here start date is the 5th of November, and she received this on the 2nd, which was Friday. So Friday was the day they sent her the email. Skip Saturday, which was the 3rd, Sunday, which was the 4th, Friday, which was the 5th. This is when she was going to be excited. You know what? It's Friday. I actually got an opportunity. If I continue and pay these people, I will get that job. On Monday, I'm starting because that date is the 5th. So they gave her information and started lying to her and said that is when you're going to start. But then they also say, we're only going to tell you when you start after we get this information. You understand? They are contradicting themselves. It's a lie. This person or whoever these people are, they are desperate as much as probably you are. Now, you get to this point, documents must be sent back within 6 hours. Fine, let's forget about that and continue on. So basically, if you get to this point, they're telling her no contract will be accepted without a police clearance, no proof of payment or fingerprint will be accepted, blah, 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 blah. We continue on. So this is the statement or sort of this clearance that they sent her after she entered the information on their website. They sent her specifically this thing here. Now, after they sent her this, I knew very well that this is probably something that has been reused and reused and reused multiple times. All right, this has been reused and reused and reused multiple times in such a way that it was probably initially a legit police clearance, but then somebody had to re-edit. If you don't know how you can re-edit, well, I can show you how you can edit a PDF. There's a software I use usually for my projects called PDF 24, where you just throw in a PDF there, and the software can convert the PDF into an image, and you can edit that image, and then you can reconvert the image back to PDF using the very same software again. Now, I don't do that. I don't use that for fraud or scam purposes. I use that for my own project and legit shit that I do. I'm only sharing you that because I just sharing that because I just want you to understand how easy and very simple it is to edit a PDF document. Now, if you look at this, I have OCD and it's on a crazy level. My OCD level is on some crazy level. Now, I can pick up some crazy shit very quickly, but if you look at this is very skewed. Like if you look at, I'm just gonna throw it there. Like for example, the letter C, this letter C touched the upper part of my screen very quickly than even the letter E. So which means this was a scanned document. It's not an original document. You understand? Now it's a scanned document in such a way that even I was able, because they put a surname here and her name's here. Shit, I think this is gonna even get to 30 minutes. Fine, but nonetheless, they sent her this with the information missing the stamp, and they said to her, "This is what you're gonna get after you pay us 550, but we can only send you the one with the stamp after we get proof of payment." You understand? That proof of payment will only be sent out through ShopRite and other forms of payments that don't even usually send or show traces, or will have a lot of traces that will lead back to them. Now, this is probably the police clearance ink business card. Forget about that. This is what they're telling you they don't want. Now, still again, they are shoveling you. They are putting you into that box, burning you into that corner, and forcing you to make a quick decision and telling you what they don't want or what they don't accept and what they only accept as a form of police clearance. This is the contract that they sent her from Cecil. Now, I also want you to understand, Cecil. I completely believe Cecil has nothing to do with this. I don't even think Cecil is aware of this. There's a Hello Peter review that somebody I think created, making it aware that there's somebody trying to take money from people using Cecil, and you can check that out by just typing police clearance scam on Google, and you will see that they will have a lot of results. Google will have a lot of results, and there's I think News 24 article that also helps you sort of understand how this scam is structured, that you can also read by your own time. Now, let's continue on the contract. That if you look at the contract, one thing that she said to me, or why she said it sounds too good to be true, is the offer itself. This is the employee salary, and these are the benefits, and this is the total basically. So if you look at all this, you can tell very quickly that it sounds too good to be true for an administration clerk. Why can't they just give her this instead of breaking it down into pieces? I mean, they're going to handle her accommodation on her behalf by just giving her that as an extra payment to handle or to take care of her accommodation. They're going to give her money for meals instead of offering her food at lunch at work. I mean, I worked for a company that offered me transport. They pick me up from my house every time, especially when I worked night shift. They pick me up at my house and they drop me off after work. At lunch or on my lunch, they offered me lunch on certain days, not every day, on certain days. But my accommodation was never taken care of. I was paid well enough to actually pay my own accommodation. It's certain things that you would then understand that, all right, you understand why they would offer you such a benefit such as transport. It's late, you wouldn't find public transport very easily unless you have a car, of course. But at the end of the day, they want you to get to your work at a specific time, or they don't want you to be late. So once they pick you, they are avoiding latecomers. So it's pretty much the reason why they were doing it. But nonetheless, this sounded too good to be true. That's why she contacted me, and I was able to see that very quickly. So we then go into the contract, and we then see very quickly that it's a scam. Um, going back, going back to this. Let's have a look. So if you go to Sesol, if you go to Google right now and just type in Sesol careers, these are the results that you will get. Depending on the browser that you use, you might get this tab here. If you use Chrome, you might not get. If you have a specific antivirus that sort of shuts down advertisements from Google, it might prevent you from seeing all this nonsense here. But nonetheless, if you continue and get to this point, you will see links from Sesol.com, Sesol.com, Sesol, nothing about SesolRecruitment.org. Even they have Indeed here, Indeed.co.za, which is a platform where you can get or you can apply for jobs, career portal, and even Facebook, but none of that. Of course, they could have paid Facebook to advertise and got their company to appear on top here if they had a lot of money, but they don't even have money to buy a domain name for a police clearance to even begin with. They don't even have money to pay weeks for a planned or for a paid plan of weeks, so they had to even do it for free. Now, again, these victims are always targeted. So they know people that are being targeted won't even pay attention to all this. Like a friend of mine, the one that contacted me about this scam, she didn't even pay attention to this website. She just sent the information because she thought it's legit. Now, I knew somebody did this within 5 minutes because Wix allows you to make a very quick website, very beautiful website very quickly. Now, if you go to GoDaddy, you can buy multiple domain names with company names that everybody can recognize and believe that those emails and websites really represent those companies. Only to find out Woolworths Jobs.co.za would have nothing to do with Woolworths. Now, I don't have I'm not gonna go ahead and purchase this because I don't have intentions of doing anything like that, and I pretty much also pray that you don't do that. Now, you need to understand this is a structure. This structure is built out in a very simple way. You are offered an opportunity in a form of employment, and you are then told what you need to bring before you get the job. Whatever it is that you need to bring before you get that job, you will then understand that it's not a legit request in such a way that you'll be requested to pay for that. You understand? You'll be expected to pay for it. Yeah, it's Israeli. I remember that. Yeah. So Wix is a company or a platform, a cloud-based platform where you can create a website for yourself. Same goes to Weebly and others as well. Now, yeah, this is how the website pretty much looks like. Yeah, it looks like this even right now. You can go to it and create the website very quickly. So anybody can create the website. Anybody can buy a domain name. It's like anybody can do this. So don't fall for information because it has a company name that you recognize or you think could be legit. Find out more information about that. You understand? Again, the structure of this specific scam is built in such a way that you are offered a job opportunity and you are then requested to bring or to provide a certain document before you get the job. And once that happens, I mean, even if the company is legit, once you are requested to bring something before you get that job and you are involved or requested to pay money to get whatever it is that you need to bring to get the job, believe me, that's just the first sign that it could be a scam. And ask information, send us some comments, like drop some comments for us, and we'll check it out for you. Just say something, subscribe to the channel, click the notification button or the bell button, and once we know you've subscribed, of course, we will handle your scam and we'll debunk it for you. But nonetheless, I think I will definitely even debunk it for you, even if you don't subscribe or like my videos. At the end of the day, if you don't like it, I'll suspect that you're probably the one behind the scam. But I really wanted to make this video very short, but these scams take time to explain and they take time to debunk. But that's how this specific one is built. Some douchebag out there decided to use Sesol, or some douchebags out there decided to use Sesol's image to trick people into believing that Sesol is offering jobs. And they then started requesting some documents before they could provide these jobs, and they started putting pressure on these people, and their emails are so dumb and so lame that they didn't even think thoroughly before they created. So those are the things that you can see very quickly that they give it away as a scam. Now, how do you see all that if you don't have the background information or background knowledge of grammars and all that? Because, like I said, people are targeted for these scams. How do you see all that? How do you see it's a scam from the beginning? Well, it's really tough. I won't lie to you. So always ask somebody who has more knowledge than you. Like that person who's always online, that person who's always buying data to watch videos on YouTube, that person who's always just doing some crazy research about just anything, pretty much anything, how to do this, how to do that. Believe me, once you find a friend like that, or just drop us a comment and we'll look into it for you. I promise you we'll do that. Even if it's like a thousands of them, it may take time, but I promise scams, I'll debunk a scam for you. I debunk these scams in a form of their structures, but not in a form of every scam out there. The scam that you might get tomorrow will be different, and believe me, it could share the same structure as this specific one. They come in different shapes, but the structure is the same. So once you understand the structure, you will then easily be able to spot the scam from a mile away. Again, I'm going to repeat, the structure of this specific scam is built in such a way that you are offered an opportunity, and that opportunity then has or comes with some requests or terms and conditions that you need to bring something in a form of either a document or experience. And then after you come with that first, then you will then be offered the job. If you don't have experience, sometimes they would say you must have 2 years experience as a call center agent or whatever it is that they're offering you before you get the job. And they will find a way and say, you can go to this company and get a certificate from them that will say or claim that you have 6 years or 6 months of experience as a call center agent, and then that way we can give you the job. Whatever that company they're referring you to, it's also part of their plan is for you to pay them and for them to gain. Simple as that. You are offered an opportunity, then there is a request or terms and conditions are coming with that opportunity, and you simply just need to fall for it. Again, please, if you like the video, share it with somebody out there. It might help somebody. It's November. December is just around the corner. January is the worst month that I know a lot of people will fall for this